Little Thumb. This is the story of Little Thumb. He lives in a cottage in the wood with his mother, his father, and his 6 brothers. Little Thumb is very, very small, but he is very clever. One night, he hears his father say, "We have no food, we have to leave the children in the wood." Mother and father are very sad. Little Thumb goes outside to get some pebbles, then he goes to bed. The next morning, the family goes to the wood. Little Thumb drops the pebbles on the path. Mother and father say to the children, "Wait here until we come back," and they leave. After a while, the children cry, "We want to go home." Little Thumb says, "Follow the pebbles." They get home and their parents are very happy to see them. But there is no food. Mother and father decide to take them to the wood again. Little Thumb hears them. He wants to get some pebbles, but the door is locked. Next morning, the mother gives the children some bread to eat. Little Thumb drops the crumbs on the path. Mother and father say, "Wait here until we come back," and they leave. Little Thumb tells his brothers to follow the crumbs, but the birds eat them. They walk and find a house. They knock on the door and the nice woman opens it. "We are lost, can we come in?" the children ask. "An ogre lives here, and he eats children," the woman says. "But the children are cold and tired." The woman says, "Come in and sit near the fire." "Knock, knock, here's the ogre," cries the woman. "Hide under the blankets." The ogre eats his dinner and drinks a lot of wine. Then he sniffs the air. "I can smell something." He finds the children. "Ah, fresh meat for me," he says. "You can eat them tomorrow," cries his wife. "All right," the ogre says, and he goes to finish his dinner. The children go to bed. In the other bed, the ogre's 7 daughters are sleeping with crowns on their heads. During the night, Little Thumb swaps the 7 crowns with their 7 caps. Next morning, the ogre touches the crown in the dark. "Oh, I'm still drunk," he says. "These are my daughters," and he goes back to bed. When the ogre is asleep, Little Thumb says to his brothers, "Go and hide in the wood." The ogre wakes up and he wants to eat the children. He goes to their bed, but he sees his 7 daughters. "Ah, I'm so angry now," he cries and runs outside. The ogre is wearing his magic boots and can jump very high and run very fast. The children hide in a cave. When the ogre arrives, he is very tired and falls asleep. Little Thumb tells his brother to run home. "I want to take the boots," he thinks. He pulls and pulls, and the boots come off. "They are too big for me," Little Thumb says, but when he puts them on, they fit him right by magic. He runs faster and faster and arrives at a big palace. Here the king needs someone very fast who can bring him news of his army. Little Thumb asks to see the king and tells him he can run very fast. The king promises Little Thumb a chest of gold if he returns that night with some news. Little Thumb leaves, talks to the soldiers, and before night he is back at the palace. The king is now very happy and gives Little Thumb the gold. Then he asks him to be his messenger. Little Thumb decides to stay and goes everywhere for the king. Soon he becomes rich. He buys a palace for his family and gives them lots and lots of gold to buy all the food they like. That's the end.